What's up, guys? James here. I'm driving across town. I'm at work. I'm going from one side of town to the other for a meeting. So I wanted to stick in a quick video here, and we're going to talk about the PDT rule. I only have so much time in the day with everything I've got going on, so I got to put these videos in where I can. If you're a super safety nut that's just so irritated that I'm videoing while driving, you just have to get over it. So PDT rule stands for Pattern Day Trading Rule. Basically what it is it's a rule imposed by FINRA in 2001. FINRA is Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, I think, established in 2001 to prevent the washout of the market. As the 2000s were coming along, the availability of online brokerages were becoming more and more popular, more and more traders, more and more small account traders, and it increased volatility in the market, which volatility in a stock is fine, but volatility in the entire market leads to unstable markets, and that's something that they wanted to avoid, so they imposed this rule. That's the point of the PDT rule, is to prevent over volatility in the market. Basically, what the PDT rule is that it says that a person on a margins account cannot make more than 3 intraday trades within a week period. An intraday trade is any trade, pre-market or post-market, whatever, that is made within the same trading session. Buy a stock in a day, pre-market, post-market, doesn't matter. If you buy a stock at 7 a.m. and sell it at 3:45 p.m. in the same day, that's an intraday trade. You can only have 3 of those within a week period. The exceptions are you can make as many trades as you want in an account that has $25,000 or more. So if you have a margins account, $25,000, $30,000, PDT rule will not apply to you. That's awesome for people who have $25,000, $30,000. Folks just starting out, or folks trying to grow a small account, don't have that luxury, obviously. So the other option is to open a cash account. PDT rule does not apply to cash accounts. Tom and I started cash accounts recently with TD Ameritrade for that reason. The PDT rule does not apply to cash accounts. The downside is that money in a cash account it can only be traded with after it has settled. So if you trade any stock for cash, if you sell any stock, it'll take the time of that trade plus 2 days for that cash to be settled, and therefore available to be used to trade in your account again. So if you suppose I have a $500 account and I spend $300 of it on a stock, I love the stock's performance, sell it for $330 and take that 10% profit. Woo! Once I make that trade, 2 days from then is when that $330 will be available for me to trade again. Therein lies the problem. If you are trying to make any kind of real money, a 10% trade is not a bad trade. But if I spend all $500 of my small account on that trade for, hold on, everybody's slamming on brakes up here. If I spend all $500 for a 10%, and then it takes 2 days, and I'm doing that consistently, like right on time when the money is available, I can only make that trade, twice or 3 times a week? So even if I'm making perfect 10% trades every single time, that's $150 a week. It's going to take me forever to grow that account. Is it possible? Yeah. Are you going to be making 10% trades every time? No. So the PDT, or the having to wait for your funds to be available, is a downside to the cash account. The other way that you can get around it is by trading futures or options. The PDT rule does not apply to futures or options. That's a whole different level of trading, that much more fees attached to that kind of trading, and so on and so forth. So that's a video for a whole another time. The other way you can get around is by using an offshore brokerage. So Tom and I are currently using TD Ameritrade. That is a local one, so the PDT rule very much applies to our brokerage. But there are several offshore brokerages, not very many reputable ones, but there are some offshore brokerages that, since they aren't in the United States, they aren't based in the United States, they don't have the same rules and regulations as those in the United States. So the benefit there is that the PDT rule doesn't apply. The downside is that it's an offshore brokerage, so you run the risk of some financial institution in Zimbabwe closing and you losing all the money in your account. It's just a little sketchy. And then the other downside to it is that those offshore brokerages have a lot more fees, slower execution on trades a lot of times because of the connections between the market makers and the brokerages. There are some downsides to using an offshore account. The upside is that there's no PDT rule, so a lot of small account day traders use it, and they love it for that reason. I can tell you, I don't know if I'm going to be using an offshore brokerage once we start rolling with real money, but I can tell you that if we do, I'm not going to be leaving a large sum of money inside of an offshore account. That's just dangerous to me. I don't like it. So that's the gist on the PDT rule. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Please subscribe to our channel. Like this video if you found it useful at all. And if you haven't already, hit the bell, get your alerts so that you can be notified when new videos are posted to our channel. And therefore, you can either learn what we are learning at the same time as we learn it, or you can very quickly tell us if you know what you're doing, you can tell us if we're doing something wrong right when we post the video. So thanks again for watching. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Y'all have a good one.